welcome to another episode of the Bottom of the Stream Movie Show. My name is Adam.
My name is Nick. Welcome back to Bottom of the Stream, the world famous podcast. And here we are. We are here every week to dredge the bottom of the Netflix stream to find you a hidden gem of a movie.
We are indeed.
Or so we hope.
That's what we hope. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't.
And this is it now.
Every week we
it
try.
is full stream ahead.
Nice.
Towards the end of season 9.
It is, yeah. We're coming right towards the end. This is the 23rd episode of this season.
Yeah, 3 movies left.
This one and 2 more.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting run. It does. It's going to be an interesting run in.
Yeah.
See if anything can knock off Blood and Gold from the top spot.
Indeed.
Or maybe spaced out from the bottom spot.
Yeah.
Who knows? Let's hope not. Because this week, Robin came back off his 2-week holiday and he picked us a British movie.
She did, yeah.
She picked us a movie called Convenience, which came out in 2013. It's 10 years old, this movie.
I know. And, again, in my brain immediately goes, 2013, fairly recent. And then I stop and think and go, no.
No, that's 10 years ago.
No, it's not.
It's a 15. It runs for 1 hour and 27 minutes and it's currently rated at 5.9 out of 10 on IMDb. It's the higher end of the movies that we do, 5.9.
Yeah.
We get into the 6s sometimes and we very rarely get any higher than that.
Yeah.
So, this movie stars a guy called Ray Panthaki. He plays AJ. You will know him if you've watched anything on British TV. He's currently starring in Boiling Point, the TV show.
Yep.
He's also in the film.
Okay.
He made a Netflix TV show in 2020 called Away. I don't know if you've seen or heard of that. I hadn't. Further back in his career, he was in 161 episodes of EastEnders.
Oh, well done.
He was in 28 Days Later.
Okay.
And he's also in Ali G in the House.
Okay, fine.
He used to do a lot with Ali G. He was the head of the Staines Massive for
Right.
Ali G. So he used to be in all of the stuff that Ali G
Okay.
did. This film also stars Adeel Akhtar. He plays Sean.
Yeah.
Again, you will know this guy. He's in Four Lions.
Yes.
He's in The Big Sick.
Yes.
He's in Enola Holmes 1 and 2.
Yes. He plays...
Why have you started that when you don't know the answer?
Oh, it's been a long day. Lestrade.
Okay. He's also in Murder Mystery
Yeah.
with Adam Sandler.
And a ton of British sitcoms.
Loads of British sitcoms. And he's in Sweet Tooth as well. So he's done quite a lot of
Okay.
stuff for Netflix over his years. Also, this movie stars Vicky McClure.
Sure.
She plays Levi. She is most famous for... She was in This Is England.
Yes.
But I think she's most famous for Line of Duty now.
I would say so, yeah.
That's like the biggest cop show in British TV history. But she was in all of the This Is England projects when she was younger. So yeah, this is an all-star British cast.
And it's got a few interesting cameos,
It
which
has.
we will come
A
to.
couple of interesting cameos which we'll get to. The movie was written by Simon Fantazuzzo and was directed by Keri Collins.
Okay.
I have nothing on either of them. Do you, Nick, have a one-word review of Convenience?
Shop until you get dropped.
Yeah, I guess. This movie's based in a shop.
It's all in a shop.
Pretty much, yeah.
Apart from the first few minutes.
It's a heist.
petrol station.
It's a petrol station heist movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll just talk you through it as we go through it. It's a comedy. Like I say, it's 10 years old. Where does it start, Nick?
A man is running.
He is indeed running.
Not only is he running, he is being pursued.
Pursued?
Yes.
Oh. Going into that sort of style, are we? He does, and he gets to a door. He angrily starts knocking and thumping on this door to try and get in.
Yeah.
And he gets in. He's allowed in. This is Sean that's been running away.
Yes.
And he is allowed into his... do they live together?
Yes.
Okay, so he's allowed into his house by AJ, who is
It's a
entertaining.
bedsit.
It's a bedsit, yeah. There's one room
With one bed.
with one bed, which they share. But AJ is entertaining a lady
Yeah.
at this time.
There's some good old-fashioned naughty going on.
There is indeed. AJ comes in. He's not very tactful.
No.
No, Sean comes in, sorry. He's not very tactful.
He says, "Oh, who's this? Why has she not got a top on?"
Yeah, basically. Even though he's still being chased and he's still pretty scared. She ends up leaving. She is not impressed, not inclined to stay around.
And
Sean's screaming that he's going to
Yeah.
be murdered at any moment
and he's
as
just
well.
like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And Sean says, "The Russians are chasing me."
Yeah, some Russian gangsters are after him. And then, as he's trying to explain this to AJ, there's a knock on the door.
Yes.
And AJ looks through the peephole on the door, and there is a guy with a gun outside the door.
There are two guys with two guns.
Yes.
Said Russians.
And the first time this film made me laugh was when AJ just walks up to the door and puts the little chain across. And I'm like, that is fucking brilliant. And it cuts away from that moment to the title card. And then we cut back to a petrol station at this point. We leave the two guys for now, and we meet a girl. The girl is Levi, and she is working in there with a guy called Neville. And the lady comes in. She's going to pay for her petrol.
Yeah, petrol and a packet of cigarettes, I think she wants, doesn't she, or something? It comes to £20 and
2p. I think
pennies.
it's just petrol.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. Because, so it's £20 and 2p, and Levi won't let her off with the 2p.
She wants to.
She wants to, but Neville won't allow
who is the
her.
manager...
He's kind of making faces at her over her shoulder. So this lady has to fill out a form, and we'll come back later on to pay her 2p because she didn't have the 2p. And I think that scene's just there to show you the relationship between Levi and Neville. Neville's like the boss who's very stickler, but he's also a wuss. He runs away from this lady.
So he doesn't. Yeah, he gets Levi to do the dirty work.
Yeah. And then Sean and AJ, we cut back to them. They're driving somewhere. It's not really told us. We're not really told where they're heading, but they're driving.
Both bruised.
They're both been
bloody
beaten
nose.
up. They've not been shot,
No.
but they have been beaten up. AJ's got a bloody nose.
And AJ's still confused. He's like, "How? What? Why?
Yeah.
Why are the Russians after you?
Yeah. What's happened? Why?
You've only been out for a few hours."
And Sean explains that he wanted somewhere to go and read his book
Quietly.
So he chose a strip club.
But he didn't know it was a strip club.
He didn't know it was a strip club.
And he said, "It was just there reading my book. And before I knew it, I was talking to Ginger. I think
she was.
And then we ended up in a private room.
Yeah, the champagne room.
Yeah, and
there was another lady came in. I think she was called Candy.
Yeah.
And eventually he ended up owing the Russians a lot of money.
£8,500.
Yes.
Which he didn't have on him.
Obviously. So he ran, and hence the chase at the start of this movie. AJ's quite angry at Sean for this. And we cut back into the petrol station where there is a customer trying to buy Diet Coke.
Yes.
A lot of Diet Coke.
Yeah, like as much as a human man can carry in their arms.
And more. So he's got about 8 bottles in his arms. He sends Levi out the back to get some more.
He says, "Have you got any more?"
Yeah, so she goes out to look to see if
he says, "We've got loads of normal Coke." And he says, "No, I'm on a diet."
So she goes out to see if they've got any more. They have got some more out the back, but she manages to drop it all over the floor. So she just gives up and goes out for a fag.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Sean and AJ pull up outside the petrol station. And it's revealed at this point that Sean actually owes £8,552.62.
Correct.
To the Russians.
I was a bit like, at first I was like, is this set in the past? Because like, Levi's she's got a Walkman.
Yeah.
And these old style, like, same headphones that Marty McFly had.
Yeah, like the orange earmuff.
But I think it was just a stylistic choice.
She's just a hipster, wasn't
she?
Yeah. So they pulled up outside this petrol station and they make the on-the-fly decision.
They're going to rob it.
They're going to rob this petrol station. Yeah. So AJ passes a gun to Sean, says, "Put that in your trousers." And they do. They go inside the store.
Masked up.
And they rob it. They make Neville open the till. Yeah. And there's not a lot of money in the till. The shift's only just started.
Yeah, they got like a couple of £100.
Yeah.
And then they get the Diet Coke guy to search his pockets and he's got £12.
£12, yeah.
And there's a whole bit of banter between the group of them.
Yeah. Because AJ takes Neville out to the back office to open the safe.
Yeah.
And Neville's like, the safe won't open until 6 a.m.
Yeah, it's on a time lock.
While they're having that conversation, Sean and the Diet Coke guy are... Not the Diet Coke guy, should I add.
You met him.
I did meet the Diet Coke guy once, yeah. Random. Yeah, that's where they have a bit of banter and he gets the £12 off him. And they go... So basically, the safe won't open until 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And they are therefore fucked.
It's just before midnight now.
Yeah.
For reference.
So they go to leave, but then they decide to not leave. They're going to stick around and wait. So they tape up. They haven't met Levi yet. They don't even know she's there.
No, because she's still looking for this Diet Coke.
So they tape up the manager and the Diet Coke guy in the office. They tie them to a chair with duct tape. And Sean's really nice to them. He's making sure they're comfortable.
Yeah, you okay? It's not too tight.
Levi's completely missed all of this. She's out the back mopping up the spilt Coke.
Yeah.
She's got her headphones on. She's completely missed the whole thing.
And this is the first time we then see a clock.
Yes, so
you get your 24 style clock. It was even the same sort of noise.
It was, yeah. So they have like this clock that tells you the time.
And it hits midnight.
Yeah, it
and
does.
Levi's still out the back. This has all happened unbeknownst to her.
Yeah.
And Sean and AJ, who is going by John.
Yes.
Or is about to go by John, I think.
John when he introduced himself, yeah.
They are behind the till.
Yeah, they've decided they're going to work there overnight. Because they don't know Levi's there. So as far as they're concerned now, the shop's empty till 6 a.m. They're going to work there overnight, wait till the safe opens, and then leave with all the money in the morning.
But the first customer of the evening soon arrives. It's a pregnant lady.
Yes. What does she come in to buy?
Cigarettes.
Yes, of course she does. And obviously they don't know how to work the till. They don't know how much anything costs. No. So they charge her £2 for
well, then they ask her how much she would pay.
How much do you normally pay for?
She says
like,
£2.
Sean reveals at this point that he's terrified of babies.
Yeah.
She's got a baby as well, this pregnant lady. And she pays £2 for cigarettes and leaves. And then as she leaves, Levi comes back out. And she thinks that they are 2 new trainees that were supposed to start the next day.
Yeah.
Which we found out from Neville earlier.
Yeah, she thinks they've just arrived early.
She thinks they've arrived early. So she just starts chatting to them as if she works with them.
And, they say, no, he's out the back doing some work. He said, can you show us the ropes? Can you
tell us what to do?
Yeah.
It's then 12:35. So all the way through now, this clock ticks.
They get, is this the point which they get their uniform?
Yeah, they put some uniform on. She asks them a quiz from one of these female magazines. Yeah. So they're just trying to get to know each other a little while, I think.
She tells them, that she's giving them a lesson on sort of stacking shelves and stuff like
how
that.
To do it and how it still works. And
getting to know each other, really.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the back room, Neville and the Diet Coke guy are sort of trying to free
escape.
themselves a bit.
They found some scissors somewhere and they're trying to escape. When they introduced themselves to Levi, AJ gave a fake name.
John.
Was
it John?
John was John. But Sean didn't. He gave his real name, which is quite an unusual name because it's not Sean, it's Sean.
It's Sean, as in Shaan. Yeah. But on his name badge, which Levi wrote, it says Sean.
Because she calls him Sean all the way through this movie. And AJ's quite annoyed with Sean for giving his real name. It's like they have a bit
you could have said anything.
Yeah. AJ then goes back to the office and catches the 2 guys trying to free themselves.
Yeah.
And he makes Neville cry.
Because he puts the gun in his face.
Does,
He's like, I will kill you.
But then he gets really upset that he's made Neville cry and he feels guilty. Levi tries to go out and see, because she hears noises out there, so she goes to try and go back to the office, but Sean has to stop her. I think he breaks a jar on the floor or something. Yeah, he does. He breaks a jar on the floor and then tries to mop it up while the glass is still all in it.
And then John/AJ comes out from the back and the place is empty.
Yes.
And he can hear giggling.
Yes.
And he finds Shan and Levi taking passport photos.
Yeah, there's a passport booth in the shop and they're just they're getting to know each other and they're taking photos together. And it's then 1:27 in the morning. And guess who walks in?
Well, a Mustang pulls up.
Yes.
A bit of a muscle car.
American muscle car.
Onto the forecourt. And a boot places itself on the floor. There's spurs.
Yeah.
It's cowboy boots.
An American shows up, is what we're saying here.
It's Vern Troyer.
It's only bloody Vern Troyer.
In a cowboy hat. Up. Chaps.
Yeah.
Full on gear.
Full on American attitude. It triggers Sean's baby fear because he's terrified of babies. So he starts screaming.
Like, a baby in a Stetson, a baby in a Stetson.
And he wants some booze off the top shelf.
Yeah.
I can't remember. They did give him a name, and I can't remember what it was. But he doesn't want Sean to get it off the top shelf for him. He wants to get it himself. So he wants Sean to lift him up. Yeah. Which he does, but as he cradles him like a baby to start with.
I thought it was really funny.
It was really funny. There's bits of this movie that are really funny. But obviously Vern Troyer doesn't like that, so he lifts him up by the arms.
And he's his typical shouty, sweary.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing to me?
Yeah.
Have some respect.
Yes.
I thought Vern Troyer, for the 5 minutes he was in this, was great.
Yes, he was. Vern Troyer was always good value, though, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Pretty much. He always played the same sort of role, but he was always good at what he did.
Yeah.
Tiny, tiny little man.
Yeah. R.I.P. Vern Troyer.
Absolutely R.I.P. Vern Troyer. So eventually they get him what he wants. He gets down and he pays his goods, and they help him carry his bags out to the car.
Yeah.
Both of them do. He just kicked the table.
My sock came off.
How does your sock just come off?
I don't know. So I was going to put my sock back on, but I need the table.
Did it hurt?
Not as
Was it
much
your bad
as,
leg?
Not as much as it sounded. No, it wasn't. It was my other one.
So yeah, AJ and Sean both leave the store to help Vern Troy carry his bags. And while they're outside, Levi hears a noise.
Yeah. It's when the hostages are pinging the microwave, is it?
Yeah, I think so. Point? And she goes out to the manager's office and she finds them both tied up in there.
Yeah.
She obviously works out straight away what's going on. She realizes they're being robbed, and she realizes that they're being robbed by these two new guys. So she literally goes outside, beats up AJ. She punches him in the face again.
But they sort of...
They overpower her, and Sean pulls a gun on her.
Yeah.
And they eventually tie her up too in the back office. So they're back to square one now. They're back out on the shop floor on their own, and they don't know what they're doing. And then another customer comes in.
Well, just for that, John gives Sean a pep talk. He's like, look, we've got to see it through. It's only till 6.
Yeah.
You know, we can do it. We can do it.
Yeah.
We're not going to hurt anyone if they stay quiet, you know.
Yeah. A customer comes in. He's just put some fuel in his car.
He's a cab driver.
Yep. And they can't work out the till or how to charge him for it, so they're just like, give it him for free.
And they're horrible to him. They're like getting a bit stressed and sweary. Yeah. So he's like, I want to see the supervisor.
Yeah.
And
AJ's just like, just have it for free. It's fine. And also, have whatever you want. Yeah. Everything's free.
And he's like, oh, can I get some porn?
Yeah.
So these lollipops free.
Yeah, he takes all the chocolate,
armfuls,
loads of porn. He goes out and comes back in with a carrier bag and loads up the porn.
And then Domino's pizza driver comes in.
Yeah, and the same thing happens again. Same joke.
And then we cut to 2:15 a.m. and the shelves are empty.
Shop's completely empty. So they decide, right, they do need help out here. So what they're going to do is bring Levi out, but tie her up behind the counter.
Yeah, so
it looks like she's sitting on a stool, but her legs are tied to the stool.
They tie her to the chair.
So the customers won't notice.
Yeah.
So they do that, and then it's 3:03 a.m.
And Sean is restocking all the shelves.
Yeah, the shop's now full of stock again. He's done a really good job of restocking all the shelves.
He's enjoying working there.
Yeah, he is. He's loving it. He's loving life. And he's also falling in love with Levi a little bit.
And look, I don't think we can go much further without saying there's definitely there's a Kevin Smith influence to this movie, isn't there?
100%. This is the British Clerks.
Yeah.
It just is, isn't it?
That's definitely what it's going for.
Yeah.
And that's not
necessarily a bad thing. Not at all. At this point, an elderly lady comes in.
It's 3 minutes past 3.
It is in the morning
now.
And she's coming in. She's looking for some toilet rolls.
This is Mavis, who's a regular.
She comes in. Yeah, Levi knows her. She comes in quite often.
And Levi says, "You stay here.
Sean will go and get the toilet rolls for you."
One of the new guys will go and get the toilet roll, so she sends Sean off. And AJ's off doing something else at this point. So Levi mouths to Mavis, "Help me.
Yeah.
Call the police. We're being robbed." And Mavis is like, "What? I've not got my hearing aid turned on."
Yeah, exactly. And she doesn't hear it. And then she does hear. She completely cottons on to what's going on, old Mavis. So she turns around. Well, she's got a Zimmer frame. She turns around. She starts to leave the shop. Yeah. She's going to go and ring the police. Sean realizes what's going on. And he pulls the gun. And he pulls the gun on Mavis. And Levi's like, "You can't shoot Mavis." So he grabs the charity collection
the guide dog collection tin.
And he just launches her head and knocks this old lady out with this tin.
And you just see it cuts to her. You hear the door, just the automatic door going bing, bing,
yeah,
bing.
This woman's lying unconscious in the door.
And he just cuts to her foot twitching on the floor.
Oh, it's so funny.
And we cut to her being Mavis.
Yeah, so Mavis is fine, but she's now being tied up in the office as well.
She has a potty mouth.
She really does. She swears a lot at AJ.
She's like, "You motherfuckers, I'm gonna get you for this."
This film's basically a list of cameos of customers coming in.
She gets so angry, her teeth fall out.
They try and make her bite the duct tape.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
they can't cut the duct tape, so they put it in her mouth, and as they pull it out, her teeth fly out with it. So then she's now tied up in the back as well, and 2 more customers come in. This was weird.
2 posh stoners.
Posh stoners is exactly what they are. Again, both quite famous. I don't know the guy's name.
Tony Way was the big guy. He was in
loads of stuff.
He's in Afterlife with Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, he is. He's in loads and loads of stuff. They come in and ask if the shop sells foie gras.
Or a goose.
Or quail eggs. Because they're posh and they're stoned and they want some snacks.
And Levi's like, we've got some chocolate muffins.
Yeah, so they asked, muffins is the last thing they asked for if they've gone down the list. And she's like, yeah, there's some at the back. There's some at the back of the store somewhere. So why they've gone off... What happened to my voice there? Why they've gone off to look for their muffins... Sean reveals AJ's real name to Levi.
Yeah.
He accidentally calls him AJ instead of John.
And he's eating a hot dog really noisily.
Really
nothing else is happening on the soundtrack. And it just made me laugh.
She tells him to stop being AJ's bitch. He needs to grow up, man up, get away from AJ's influence.
Levi's like playing... Yeah, she's like, I think you've got low self-esteem.
Yeah.
You should break yourself away. Go out, you're your own man. You should.
Yeah.
And she says, "Here, take this test." And she passes him like a copy of Take a Break.
Yeah, or one of these British magazines.
Yeah, women's magazine. Have you got low self-esteem?
Yeah, and he has.
Yeah, I'll do it.
He goes and does it all, and he has got low self-esteem. The quiz reveals that.
He comes back still with his half-eaten hot dog. This might have been one of my favourite lines in the movie. He's like, "You're right. I've got mostly C's."
Yeah.
And she says, "Well, what does that mean?" It says, you have low self-esteem. Try using confidence-boosting eyeliner. And she's like, don't worry about that part.
Yeah. But worry about the low self-esteem part. So she tries to build him up, doesn't she? She tries to big him up a little bit. She's trying to get him on side.
Yeah, and then she's like,
she even offers to sleep with him.
Yeah, she's like, I didn't want to say this, but you're a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Hey, just close your eyes.
Yeah.
Because he thinks she's going to kiss her.
Yeah.
But no, the stoners are back with their muffins.
Yes.
And again, she's mouthing help to them.
She's trying to get them to help.
And
they
don't understand.
They have no idea what's going on.
And when this movie is at its best, it's that snappy repartee between the characters, isn't it?
Really is. So they leave, but as they leave, they think that Levi's fallen in love with them, these two stoners, because of what she was mouthing to them. Or she was mouthing something at them. So then Sean goes off and does some more shelf stacking. And she then helps him fill out a job application form to work here, where they're currently in the middle of robbing.
And AJ/John comes back a bit later and he's like, what are you two doing?
Yeah.
And Sean says, I'm doing an application form. I'm going to apply for a job.
Yeah.
And AJ, again, another great line. He's like, you've put your contact details down.
Yeah.
We're robbing the place.
It's very funny. So they have another argument because he's like, you give me low self-esteem, blah, blah, blah. And then it's 3:46 a.m. Sean has gone outside to sweep the forecourt.
Yeah.
And AJ's now trying to endear himself to Levi a little bit.
He's trying to convince her that
he's not an asshole, basically.
Well, that both him and Sean are in this situation by accident.
Yeah.
Essentially. And that they're not bad guys, I guess.
And while they're distracted by this conversation, another man walks in.
Yeah.
This is Anthony Head.
Yes.
Another British comedy institution. He walks in and he asks him...
He's very drunk.
Very drunk. Very sad. And he wants to buy a jerry can, some matches, and 5 litres of petrol.
Yeah.
And these two are so distracted.
It reminded
by
me
the
of the scene a few weeks ago from Redemption of the Rogue when he goes and asks for the rope.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. Because they just sell it to him. They're completely distracted by this conversation. They're just
he's like, have you got a packet of
matches?
Crunchy Nut Crisps?
Yeah,
as well?
Crunchy Nut Crisps is what he wanted. I don't know what that is.
And they say, no, we've sold out.
Yeah, we haven't got any of them, but you can have the jerry can.
And that's the last straw for him. He's like, he can't get his crisps.
So the man goes outside where Sean is. He's like sweeping the forecourt.
Fills up his jerry can. Petrol.
He overfills it, and Sean's like, dude, you're spilling petrol all over the floor. And then in the next scene, we see him pouring it over his head. And then Sean sees him pouring it over his head. I keep calling him Sean. Sean sees him pouring it over his head. And then this guy lights a match.
Do you know what? I was really surprised at how affecting the scene was.
Agreed. I was going to say exactly the same thing.
It's like a 3 or 4 minute scene.
I think it makes
touching.
this movie. I think it makes this movie. I think this movie needed this scene in it.
But I wasn't expecting to have this.
No.
I was like, oh my God, I'm almost moved by this.
Because basically...
Anthony Head is amazing. He's in this for 4 or 5 minutes.
And he's amazing.
He's brilliant.
He is amazing. He's always amazing, but he's amazing. He is amazing in this.
And I mean, it'll be one of my points for the end, but I think Adeel Akhtar is fantastic in this movie.
Yeah. I think everybody's
Yeah.
great in this.
But in particular, this scene where
He
he's
basically
these two are
talks this
just
guy
talking.
down now.
Yeah.
He's like, because Sean's played off as the idiot character he's a simpleton. He just wants to go and read a book. He hasn't got any ambition in life. And he's AJ's bitch.
Yeah.
But
this guy's sitting there, covered in petrol. He likes a match. He's like, well, my wife's left me.
Yeah.
No one wants to talk to me. I've got no friends, no family. There's no point. I'm losing my job. And Sean sort of says, well, I've not had a great life either.
Yeah.
Since I was 7.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. And it's basically the way it's delivered. And he's like, but I don't want to blow myself up.
Yeah.
Because you never know what's going to happen. Might be better soon.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I just wasn't expecting this.
It came out of nowhere, but it really, really worked.
And they end up having a bit of a giggle, don't they?
Yeah, he's like, you've just got to will it. You've just got to get whatever you want from life and just make it happen.
And then the unnamed Anthony Head character is like, oh, I can't even fucking blow myself up properly anyway.
The best line is Sean goes, and you probably should have used Supreme unleaded.
Yeah. It just makes him laugh.
It really made me laugh because it was this touching scene and then he just says that at the end. And yeah, they end up giggling with each other and they give each other a hug.
Yeah.
He says, can I have a hug? And then Anthony Head leaves the scene by saying, I'm going to go find some crunchy nut crisps. Yeah. And that's it. We never see him again. And Sean then walks back into the store. These two, Levi and AJ, are still having this conversation. They're completely oblivious to what's just happened in this. And Sean's like, I'm going home. I'm done. I want to go home.
Yeah, he's like, are you trying it on with her?
Yeah.
It's not what we're here for.
Yeah.
And he's a bit jealous.
And it comes to a head when they start arguing that he eventually pulls the gun on AJ.
Yeah. He's like, I don't need you anymore. I'm not your sidekick.
Yeah.
I'm going to make my own way.
They're both trying to get into Levi's good books as well, so they're both trying to big themselves up. So AJ reveals the reason why they're actually here. He tells her all the thing with the Russians.
It's all Sean's fault. Yeah. You know, who runs up an $8,500 debt at a strip club?
Yeah. Then AJ pulls his gun on Sean.
Yeah.
And they're like, they're both. I can't speak. I'm giving up. They're both going to shoot each other.
Yeah.
And it's whoever's going to pull the trigger first. And it turns out it's Sean pulls the trigger. But it's a pellet gun.
Yeah, and he shoots AJ right in the forehead.
Right in the forehead with a pellet. And then they have a pellet
like,
gun.
It really hurts. And they have a shootout over this shelf with pellet guns. It was really funny.
It is really funny.
And Levi's just watching it like, what the fuck is this?
And while she's doing that, she cuts herself free.
Yeah.
She is now in no danger. She knows the guns are not real. So she's
got a knife.
She's got a knife, yeah. So
she just bosses it. She's like,
she takes over.
I've got a knife. You've got toy guns.
Sean still pulls the gun on her, and she's like, "No, it's not fucking real." But he's still holding this gun on her, and she's like, "Right, get in the fridge." So they've got this like big walk-in fridge out the back.
So she takes them at knife point to the
fridge, shuts them inside, and then goes to untie the others. And this is the point, I guess, where we get our big reveal in this movie.
Yeah. And it played well, I thought.
It did.
For me as well.
I never saw it coming. So she goes out the back to free Neville.
And before she
Diet
Coke Man and Mavis.
Diet Coke Man and Mavis. But she goes to Neville first. But before she cuts him free, she finds like a spilled...
It's like his briefcase.
Yeah, it's spilled open. And there's some postcards inside.
Yeah.
So she reads one of these postcards. And it turns out it's from her mum.
Yeah.
And Neville is her dad.
Yeah.
Which we didn't know, and we wouldn't have never guessed. But it's his petrol station, and she works for him.
So you've got now this intercut of scenes between her realising this and talking to Neville, and AJ and Sean in the meat locker arguing with each other. And Sean saying, "I'm not useless. You do try to put me down." And
Sean's line is, "You've done nothing with your life, and you blame me, and I wouldn't fall apart without you."
Yeah.
And that's,
I'll be okay without
it's such an affecting line because it's not what you'd expect from Sean's character.
Yeah.
It really has changed over the course of this movie. And then that's intercuts with the reveal that Neville is Levi's dad. The mum left, as far as Levi's concerned, left without saying goodbye.
Yeah.
She just walked out one day.
Because
she doesn't think she's ever heard from her.
Because the mum wanted to go travelling. She didn't want to spend the rest of her life running and owning this petrol station.
Yeah.
And essentially Neville kept this all from Levi.
Yeah, never told her.
The mum wanted them all to go.
Yes.
And Neville just wanted to run this petrol station. And he didn't give Levi the opportunity.
Yeah. Sean reveals to AJ about the man on the forecourt. He just tells him about that.
Yeah, he's like, look, I
just saved somebody's life. Yeah, I'm useful.
And to be fair, the act is great here because AJ
everybody's
like,
wonderful.
What are you
talking
and
about?
You can see this realization of like, there's more to this.
The comedy has completely left this movie for the last 20 minutes, but it really works because everybody's acting their asses off. Neville now he starts apologizing to Levi, but Levi just ties him back up.
Yeah,
she's like, "We're done. I'm not doing this."
Yeah.
So she goes back to the two guys in the fridge, and the comedy comes back because Sean's like, "I think I can break the door down."
Yeah.
So he runs at the door.
And AJ says, "Don't tell me you're gonna karate kick it."
He's like, "No, I'm gonna kung fu kick it."
Flying kung fu kick it. Obviously, just as he launches into the air, Levi opens the door. You can't beat the classics.
You can't. But so she lets him out and she's like, look, we're doing this. There's 10 minutes. I think there's 10 minutes left till the safe opens.
Yeah.
We're splitting it 60-40. I'm in charge. This is how it's going to work.
Yeah.
And then the clock blips over to 5:52. So there's like 8 minutes. And so they're waiting around. The boys are back behind the counter. They're working still.
We come back to the hostages in the back room. They're all playing I Spy.
Yeah, but they're all gangsters and they can't speak.
Yeah.
And then your two Russian gangsters walk in.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, just coming to buy some crisps.
Come to buy cigarettes, I think.
Yeah.
And it takes a minute.
Yeah.
And then all
nobody
four of them recognise each other.
All at once, they all recognise each other. And the Russians are like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be getting our money. And he's like, and AJ's like, we are getting your money.
And one of the Russians goes, it's going to take you a long time to pay it off working it.
Yeah.
Again, it was a good line.
It was. And sorry, I just touched your toes. Oh, we're so much professional podcast. I can see why the shaving people are after us. So, and AJ explains what's going on. He's like, we're robbing this place. We've been robbing it now for 5.5 hours. We're going to get the money. They saved us over till 6. Explains what's going on. Just as the Russians are kind of accepting this, and they're like, okay, well, we'll just hang around. We'll just take the money straight away.
We'll just take all the money.
Yeah. Two more guys come in.
Yeah.
And rob the place.
Robbers.
Actual robbers.
And their face painted.
Yeah.
One's a tiger and one's a panda.
Yeah, absolutely. AJ gets hit in the face again.
He gets pistol whipped by the tiger.
The two posh guys also come back.
Yeah.
Because they think that Levi's in love with them, so they've come back to rekindle that romance. But they see through the window, these two new guys have got guns with shotguns.
So I think they call the police.
And everybody inside is now robbing this place.
Yeah.
Everybody. Even Levi is in the middle of robbing this place.
And the panda goes to the back room and he finds these people tied up and he comes running back through. He's like, hey, there's a weird old people sex party going on.
Oh, it's so strange. And then the bell goes off, which is the time lock on the safe.
Yeah.
So the safe's now open. So the panda guy goes and puts a load of money in a bag. But just as he's doing that, we can hear police sirens in the distance.
We can, yeah.
Which then disappear. The police don't turn up for ages. Sean then pulls a gun. And then everybody pulls a gun.
Yep.
Everybody's pointing a gun at everybody. All the Russians have got guns. And so, but Sean completely takes control of this scene now.
Yeah, he's like, they call me Mad Dog.
Yeah.
I'm in charge here.
He explains exactly what's going to happen.
I'm no one's sidekick.
Because the Russians are like, well, we're taking all the money. The two new robbers, they're like, well, we're taking all the money. And Sean's like, well, what is actually going to happen here is you guys are going to get your £8,562.52p. You guys can have the rest. We're just going to go.
You're going to let us three, as Levi,
AJ, and Sean,
walk out.
We'll go. And then it's all done. Everybody's happy.
It nearly works. And then
it does.
I can't remember if it's a Russian or one of the robbers. Like
one of the new robbers.
No, you're not calling the shots.
Yeah.
Because they kind of realise they take a second look and like, is that a real gun?
Yeah, it's like, that's a pellet gun.
So Sean, he's got a great arm. He's already knocked the Mavis out with the charity tin. Just yeets this gun at the tiger.
Yeah.
And it just cracks him right in the
forehead.
forehead.
He's got Levi.
Yeah.
He's holding Levi hostage. So he knocks him out
And then everyone shoots each other.
Yeah. So as this guy falls backwards, his gun goes off and shoots one of the Russians.
Yeah.
So then the other Russian shoots the other guy, and the other guy shoots the other
Yeah.
guy, and everybody gets shot except for our 3 main characters. Everybody's down. In all this kerfuffle, Levi manages to get away with all the money. She leaves through the back door.
She nabs the bag and goes to walk out the back of the office, which is where just as AJ and Sean are going to follow her, the tiger sits back up.
Yeah, and he starts shooting.
Yeah. So they're sort of behind the counter.
Yeah, so they're kind of hiding behind the counter. And that's the point where the cops show up.
Yeah.
So them sirens, that took ages for them to get there, but they did get there. And he's still shooting this guy.
Shan sets his...
takes his uniform T-shirt off.
Yeah, sets it on fire.
Yeah.
And throws it over the counter and it lands right on the tiger's face.
Yeah, it hits him in the face. So this guy's head's on fire. And they run at the main door.
Yeah.
Sean and AJ run at the main door to get out.
Hands up,
but they see the police there. But because they've got uniform on, the police just think they're the hostages.
Yeah.
So the
they're
police
like, they're staff, let them go, let
them go. And the police run past and go inside the store. So AJ's like, just keep walking.
Yeah.
And they get to the car and they drive off and they've got away. In the next scene, the sun's up, so they've managed to get away and they've pulled over. They're still in the car, but the sun's come up, so little time's passed. And they're waiting for Levi.
Yeah,
because they've arranged to meet.
Who shouted
Levi.
some instructions on the way out, I think.
Yeah, but they're pretty sure she's not coming. She's already late.
Yeah, because some time's passed.
Yeah, and AJ said she's probably buggered off to Barbados by now. But then they realise they're in the wrong place.
Yeah, because they turn left instead of right.
So they drive off. Neville tells the police are interviewing Neville. He tells them he didn't see anything, doesn't know anybody.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of protecting Levi, I guess. Yeah. So then they go and pick up Levi. She's waiting for them at the side of the road and they drive off together.
With the money.
And the film ends.
And they say, happy fucking travels.
Yes.
Because that's what
you always say to people,
to her.
the customers when they leave. And that's the end of your film.
And there's a blooper reel.
There's a blooper reel.
Blooper reel.
Yeah, at the end, in the credits. Which isn't great, but it's okay.
That's all right.
What did you think of this film, Nick?
Really pleasantly surprised.
Same.
I had such a good time.
I was expecting to really hate this, but it's actually really good.
It's really good.
It's really funny.
It's very funny and it's well made. It's well acted. It's just all round a really nice, neat package of a movie.
Yeah, it's a proper good British comedy.
Yeah,
it just works.
It's a real. I don't mean this as a criticism. Middle of the road, but like a good. I would be happy to. We say a lot with films. Oh, I know people who would think this is weird or didn't like it. I would be pretty confident saying, "You want a decent movie to watch?
Yeah,
here's a decent movie." And most people are going to turn around and go, "That was good."
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's a good.
There's not much not to like in this, is there?
It's not a Shaun of the Dead level, but it's a good British comedy movie that's got everybody in it's great. There's points where everybody's in it's fantastic. All 3 of them are really good at one point. Not necessarily all at the same time, but they're all really, really good in it.
It
just works. The story works. There's no the big twist at the end that kind of works.
There's nothing here that's particularly original, but it's really well done.
All the little cameos are really clever. Anthony Head, like we said, he was great. Vern Troyer was brilliant. The 2 posh guys were great. Bringing those little customer cameos in really worked for it, and it just broke it up a little bit and made it nice.
Yeah, it did.
I was disappointed when this movie ended.
Me too.
And I was not expecting to be.
Me too.
Because I don't do comedy movies. We know this.
I would have an AJ and Sean, The Adventures of AJ and Sean as a franchise.
There's a sitcom.
Yeah,
you could make a TV show out of this.
Yeah.
It feels like that sort of British comedy that was happening at that time. So you can tell it's 10 years old. I'm not saying it's dated or it's aged badly, but there was a moment in British comedy where this sort of thing was happening. And I thought it was great. I genuinely was really surprised how much I enjoyed it.
I laughed a lot.
I did.
I really enjoyed it. And and one of the things that surprised me the most was we don't see many not out and out comedies on this show because they're popular, aren't they?
Yeah, but comedies usually do well.
And they're not
bottom of the stream.
No.
There isn't many bottom of the stream comedy.
I'd never heard of this movie.
I'd never heard of this
and
movie.
it's really good.
It might be the best comedy movie we've ever done on the show.
Yeah, it might be.
It genuinely might be. Because we do a lot of shit. If we do comedy, we do a lot of shit comedy. Take last week, for example.
In terms of an out-and-out comedy,
yeah.
I think you're probably right. I mean,
we
might have seen better in terms of dark comedy.
Yeah. We've seen films that are funny, but I feel this is written as a comedy movie.
Yeah.
With comedy actors who are all great. I think this is up there as the best comedy we've seen. And I genuinely wasn't expecting to say that. No. Even when I turned it on last night, I was dreading watching it. Because I'd still got last week's memory hung over in my head. Of like, I don't like comedy movies.
I don't think
I've still got sex couplets banging around. I wasn't expecting it to be like that, but you know what I mean? And it's like...
I wasn't dreading it, but my preconception was... I don't think this is going to be terrible, but I don't think it's going to pull up any trees.
No.
And within 3 minutes, it's that joke when
puts the chain over.
When AJ puts the chain over the door, I was like,
oh, no, it's just pulled up a tree.
There's going to be something here.
Yeah.
And I can see me watching this movie again.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Even quite soon, if we're at a loose end and my wife's like, what should we watch? I know she would like this movie.
I know your wife would like this movie. I think most people I know would like this movie.
Yeah.
But it's inoffensive. There's not a lot of swear words, or if you don't like that sort of thing, there's not a lot of that in it. It's just a nice comedy movie, isn't it? There's no sex in it. There's no...
Yeah.
It's just fun. It's just a fun movie. Yeah. And I can't believe I'm saying it. I genuinely can't. We've done 2 comedy movies in a row, and they're opposite ends of the scale for me.
Oh yeah,
completely. Yeah. They couldn't be more different.
Yeah,
but they're both comedies. And
it was those, like I say, those couple of heartfelt moments it had in it as well.
Yeah,
and they were the cherry on the icing on the cake.
Yeah,
really.
they're a bit on the forecourt with Anthony Head and the guy who played Sean. It was so touching, and it's like this movie needed that little break, and it was perfectly timed, and it just worked so well with 2 great actors. I was like, yeah, I was in by that point.
If you got a blueprint of something like Clerks,
yeah,
and I'm not saying that
you can't
obviously because of the setting and the
you can't not talk about Kevin Smith when you talk about this movie.
It's a Kevin.
Those 2 stoners were even British Jay and Silent Bob.
Posh Jay
and Silent Bob. We know what's happening here. This is an homage to a Kevin Smith movie, but
it's. I mean, yeah. Well, Kevin Smith's very mixed,
Yeah.
Past few years, but I mean, this
his heyday.
It's really fun.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not comparing it to the best Kevin Smith movies, but
it's fun.
This is just a really good fun movie. It's great. Shall we talk Stream Table?
Yeah.
No. What's the best thing about this movie, Nick?
I said that's tough. What is the best thing?
I think it's the cast.
Yeah.
I think all of the cast members in this movie, even the Diet Coke guy was great. He was.
Yeah.
When he was having that moment with Sean and he didn't want to hand his wallet over, and he didn't care if Neville got shot or not because he wanted to keep his 12 quid.
Yeah.
No,
he wanted to keep his 12 quid. He didn't want to
He didn't mention that in the show. He didn't want to give away the 12 quid because it was how he was going to pay for his Diet Coke.
Yeah, and
they were holding the gun to Neville's head, and he's like, I don't care. I don't know this guy. And it was really funny. And the cast are the best thing about it. But what would you change about it?
I could have gone another 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I could.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'd apply for a job in this petrol station.
Flesh those 2 characters out a little bit more. Give us a bit more of them.
Yeah.
I'm up for it.
I want to know what they did with the money.
I want a 10 years later convenient sequel.
Yeah.
See where they ended up.
Petition.
Where did these 2 characters end up?
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
It's well written.
Yeah, it is.
Because it is
considering
snappy dialogue.
The guy who wrote it has not really got any other IMDb credits. He's never written anything since.
Yeah.
It's surprising, really.
It's a real neat movie.
It is.
Nice package.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And the movie's great. Right, shall we talk Stream Table?
Sure.
I'm going to read through the whole thing.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Currently at the bottom of the stream at number 22 is Spaced Out. Number 21 is Buddy Games. 20, Sextuplets. 19, Nightwolf. 18, Here Are the Young Men. 17, Freaks You're One of Us. 16, Mercy. 15, Sweet Girl. 14, Still Time. 13, Girlfriend's Day. 12, To the Bone. 11, Cadaver. The top 10 are Paradise. Number 9 is Redemption of a Rogue. 8, Catty Catty. 7, Don't Listen. 6, Against the Ice. Number 5 is The Humans. Number 4 is The Waterman. Number 3 is Warriors of Future. Number 2 is Hellhole. And currently at the top of the stream is Blood and Gold. Where does this one go, Nicholas?
Well, I don't know if I'm the best judge.
Okay.
Because for me, it's a real nice double act with Redemption of a Rogue. But the problem is I'd have Redemption of a Rogue much higher in our table because it's 9th. I mean, I'm guessing you preferred it to that.
I did prefer it to Redemption of a Rogue.
And that's 9th.
Yeah.
So I'm open to suggestion, I guess, with this one. Because I
That's really tough, isn't it?
I potentially think it could go anywhere from... And remember, this is a good stream table in terms of quality of movies. This is one of our...
It really is, especially the top 10.
I mean, and maybe we'll do a bit of a review come the end of the season, but I think it might be overall the strongest group of movies we've had. And for that reason, I think this depending on how you want to argue it, this could go anywhere from 15th to... It might even be right up there.
It's not right up there.
But it could be getting in the top 5. There could be an argument for that.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, knowing that this is a comedy movie and I wasn't expecting to enjoy it. I think this movie is 6th.
Okay.
That's my starter for 10.
Yeah, I mean, there would have been something nice to have it with Redemption of a Rogue, but I think that puts it too low, and you didn't like that, and it's not just my table. So,
and I think Redemption of a Rogue is too low because I think Catty Catty's too low, because I think Catty Catty should be higher, which would have therefore maybe pushed up Redemption of a Rogue, because I think Redemption of a Rogue, which I didn't really like, but I do think it's better than Don't Listen and maybe Against the Ice, but I can't see it above Catty Catty. And that's where I think the issue in the table is. I think that's too low.
Maybe, yeah. But
in my eyes.
But then Don't Listen and Against the Ice are good as well.
Yeah, they are. All of those movies are great, don't get me wrong. I didn't like Redemption of a Rogue much, but it still deserves to be in the top 10 of the season.
I mean, it does feel... It feels tricky to put this higher than The Human.
I don't think this bothers the top 5. I think the top 5 this season are strong as fuck.
I think 6 is a really good result for this little movie.
It really is. It was not. I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting you to be talking Nightwolf, Here Are the Young Men areas. So it's blown my mind that I've even suggested 6. But
I can go with that.
I think if I'm going to watch this or Against the Ice again, I'm going to pick this.
Yeah, I agree.
Whereas I probably would pick The Humans because that's a proper film and it looks nice and it's got cinematography and stuff
and acting
and
real acting. And a message.
Yeah. And The Waterman and Warriors of Future, Hellhole, Blood and Gold. They're all wonderful movies. Our top 5 this season is strong as anything.
Yeah.
Maybe stronger than we've ever done as a 5. But this one deserves to just be outside it.
I thought it was great. Yeah, I think 6 is really good.
Happy?
Yeah.
Let's put it 6th. Who would have thunk it?
It's a strong recommend for me.
I
think there's something for everyone in this.
I agree. I think where do you start recommending films in that table? Genuinely, I think it's 18th.
Yeah, it's 18. There's 18 decent films in this.
Yeah. I honestly think Freaks You're One of Us is a good movie. It's fine.
Yeah.
And there are people out there that enjoy it. We've maybe done 5 bad movies this season. That's not what this show is. We shouldn't be doing good movies.
Yeah.
This season's all messed up.
I didn't know if I'd started to go soft.
I don't think you have.
But I've really enjoyed most of these movies.
Yeah. I think we've done 18 good movies this season. And that shouldn't happen.
Some of them are flawed. Very much so. But,
absolutely.
But, yeah. But I agree. I don't think there's any other season that we've done where Freaks You're One of Us is the 18th best movie.
Absolutely not. No. 100%.
Madness.
I think we've maybe got 18 top 10 movies. Right. Talking of movies, we need to pick number 24, the penultimate episode of season 9.
Yes.
And we need young Robin to come out and do that for us. Shall we call him?
Yes, bring her out.
What movie would you like to watch for the 24th episode of season 9, Nick?
Let's have balls to the wall action.
Action movie.
I think we've had a drama with To the Bone recently, a couple of comedies.
Yeah.
Let's see some stuff explode.
Okie dokie, I'm going to press the button. Are you ready?
Yep.
He has picked us a movie called Black Crab.
Okay.
Any ideas?
None whatsoever.
Okay, let me bring it up and I shall tell you what it is, shall I?
Yes, please, you shall.
Black Crab is from 2022. According to IMDb, it's an action, adventure, drama, sci-fi thriller war movie.
Okay. That
Covering
bodes
all
well.
the bases. And it is from Sweden.
Nice.
Going back to the Scandies. Would you like a synopsis?
Yes, please.
Set in a post-apocalyptic world, this Swedish action thriller follows 6 soldiers sent on a covert mission to transport a mysterious package across a frozen archipelago. Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
Without knowing what dangers lies ahead or who, if anyone, they can trust.
Okay.
Well, who's in it?
Yes, please.
Numi Rapace.
Oh, we've not seen her for a while.
We've not. Scandi movie. Numi Rapace is in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you asked for an action movie and Robin has delivered.
Okay.
So yeah, go out and watch Black Crab. And in the meantime, check us out on Instagram and Letterboxd. Our username is at BOTS_podcast. If you want to drop us an email, our email address is bottomofthestream@gmail.com and our website is bottomofthestream.com. On our website, you will find every episode we've ever recorded, all of our stream tables, loads of other cool stuff, and you can even get some merch if you want to buy a Bottom of the Stream
Bag of Honey Nut Crisps.
bag of Honey Nut Crisps. Honey Nut Crisps. If it's Crunchy Nut Crisps, not Honey Nut Crisps.
Whatever. Neither of them exist.
No. After you've done that, head over to Patreon. On patreon.com/bottom of the stream. On there for £5 every month, you will get early access to episodes. You will get bonus episodes. You will get exclusive access into our exclusive closed off Discord area. You'll get a poster. You get loads of other cool stuff. It's worth it for £5 a month. And if you come in, well, no, anybody now on the Patreon gets a wild card. So you can pick a movie we do this season. If you're really quick, you might even be able to get one in.
Get the
season finale. Everybody gets a wild card who's a Patreon. You pick a movie we watch, and if it's the best one we've seen this season, you'll get a prize. Currently, I'm winning that, but I've just realised there's a very small chance that I might not. After you've done that, head over to Discord. Discord is a wonderful group full of wonderful people who will literally talk to you about anything. We play games, we do watch-alongs. All sorts of cool stuff goes on in the Discord. You get involved in the real talks on the wave. Loads of other cool stuff. The Discord link is in the bottom of the show notes.
If you can spare a few minutes, please consider leaving us a rating and a review anywhere you can review or rate podcasts. We really appreciate it because it helps spread the word and get us in the eyes and ears of more people. We're available anywhere you can find your podcasts, all the big places and all the small places. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, Podchaser, everywhere in between. Come and find us.
Come and find us and join this party.
Yeah.
Good time to get in now. Just about to start season 10.
Yeah.
In the new year, probably. And we'll,
couple of surprises between.
Yeah, we've got some Christmas ideas that we're going to pull off.
Next
I think
season as well.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So, yeah, expect some announcements about the Christmas period, I suppose, over the next week or so.
Yeah.
And yeah, have a lot of fun. Go out and watch Black Crab, and we'll be back on Monday for the wave and next Thursday for the movie show.
Cheers.
Bye.